Okay, so this one, it says JDRT is similar to WHYX. So remember, the order of the letters is important. If I'm singling out angle D, that's the second letter in the order, then I want to match it with the second letter in the order of the second one, which would be angle H. Okay, you could either write out the word angle, you could put the little symbol for angle, but you can't just put H. You need one of those things. Then it said RT over X, YX. So if I go back to my initial statement here, RT over YX would equal what over X, or WX, which is the first and the last letters. I want to go back to the first one and say the first and the last letters, which would have been JT. Okay, number 2 said, are the polygons similar? If they are, write a similarity statement. And what are the pairs of congruent angles? What's the extended portion of the ratio of corresponding sides? So there's 4 parts here. Are they similar? So when you match them up, you would get 16. It should be 16 over B, 34 over 17, and 15 over 30.
That was a B? I thought it was an 8.
That is an 8, actually. Oh, no. That is a B. Okay, that's your unknown side. These reduce to be the same thing, so this actually, no, it is an 8. It's an 8. Yep. Okay, you have to have the side lengths for all of them. So they are all 2 to 1, 2 to 1, and 2 to, this should be switched. 30 to 15. They're all 2 to 1, which does make them similar. And the angles, if this angle is congruent to this angle, this is to this, then the third angles theorem says the third angle in a triangle would also have to be congruent. So I know all the sides are proportional and all the angles are congruent. The thing that a lot of you miss is the similarity statement. So a similarity statement is what triangle is similar to what triangle. So if I call the little one A, B, C, then I have to go in the same order for the big one. So AB is the middle length side, then BC is the largest side. I have to follow that pattern for the other one. Middle length side would be FE, big one would be ED. So I have to call this triangle FED, and the order of the letters is important.
Oh, that's what.
That is your similarity statement. B says, what are the pairs of corresponding angles? And that's here. Angle F equals angle A, D equals C, and B equals E. And C, what's the extended proportion for the ratio of the corresponding sides? And that's what is here. FD over AC would equal FE over AB would equal ED over CB. You could write it like that. You could flip them upside down. You could put them in any order as long as FD goes with AC, FE goes with AB, and ED goes with CB. It doesn't matter the order between your fractions. That was Gabby. Don't let me forget. Then okay, this one said WXYZ is similar to RSTZ. What's the value of X? So if there were side lengths on all 4 sides, you have to figure out which of them you have a completed ratio for, right? This top side, WX, which is the first 2 letters, matches RS, which is the second 2 letters. So 24 over 16 would be equal to the big part in the big triangle, which is 20, over the small, which is the X. And that was here. Then, this is Miguel's. He reduced the 24 over 16 by dividing both by 8 and then got here. So now I have 20 over X equals 3 over 2. Cross multiply, and you get 20, or 2 times 20 equals 3X. 40 equals 3X. Divide both sides by 3. If you put it in decimal form, technically this repeats. If you left it in mixed number format, it would be 13 1/3. If you left it as an improper fraction, which is also okay, it would be 40 over 3. So I would have taken any one of those 3 answers.
So that's the answer?
Yep, 13 1/3, 13.3, 40 over 3.
So when I'm trying to find the X,
I had to do 24 over 16 equals 20 over X.
So why do you only do the last 2 fractions again?
Why do you only do the last 2 fractions? What do you mean?
Like, how come you didn't include between?
The 24 over 16 got reduced to 3 over 2. They're both divisible by 8. So 24 over 16. So it started as 24 over 16 equals 20 over x, right? And then we said these are both divisible by 8. That's 3 and 2. So 3 over 2 equals 20 over x. Then the cross multiplying. Then the dividing. Okay, and then the line. This was Carla's. So triangle FGH is similar to MNP. Find the value of x, and then I add on there, find the value of y. So I had to figure out what sides matched up with what sides. 20 went with 10, so I had 20 over 10 equals 15 was the middle length side, or the HF. HF would have gone with PM, which is the y, so 15 with y. And FG, which is 12, would have gone with x. 15 what was corresponding to the y. Yeah, because 15 is FH, right? And 15 FH is the first and the last letter. So I match it with the first and the last letter, which is MP. Then you want to break these apart and work them out 2 at a time. So she did this one first. 20 over 10 equals 15 over, oh, it should be, you did it backwards. It's fine. Over y, and then 15 over, nope, and then 12 over x.
Can you reduce the 20 over?
Yes, I definitely would. I would get rid of the zeros. So you get 2 to 1 equals 15 to y. 2y equals 15. She has the work, just the different letters. 15 over 2, 7.5 or 7.5. And then 12 equals 2x, and x equals 6.
Do you leave 12 over x?
12 over x would equal, it was 20 over 10, but then I reduced the 20 over 10 to 2, or yeah, to 2 to 1, and then cross multiply. So it should be x is 6.
So you're using 20 over 10 with x in?
So she just switched the letters up here. It should be y and x. Because 12, think about it, right? 12 is FG. FG is the first and the second letters. Should match MN. So 12 goes with x. And then 15 went with y. And obviously 20 goes with 10. So this is, again, this is like the second half of your quiz. If you look on your to-do list now, tomorrow. The reteaching for 7.1 and 7.2 are there.
How?
Okay. How?
Can we just use how do you save this to your notability?
No. Hit the little curvy arrow and then export it. So this is 7.1. These were the ratios. Remember, you had ratios where you had to get them in the same unit. As long as you know inches, you're fine. Okay, I didn't make it too tricky. No. And then you had your cross multiplying, which is here. There's a lot of these, okay? I won't give you anything this big, I would say. But you're definitely going to need to know how to do some of that stuff. Have a good day, guys. And then you had all the properties of proportions. So remember, if I had like x over 5 equals y over 4, that I could write it that way, or I could flip it. Or I could go left, right. Or I could do the denominator addition. So those were the 3 properties of proportions that you could do. Make sure you know how to do all that stuff. That's on 14, 15, 16, okay? And then there were the word problems with ratios, like if I gave you the ratio of 2 angles that were supplementary, like the warm-up yesterday, 2 angles that were complementary, 3 angles in a triangle, all that stuff. So those are 17 and 18 on this reteaching.
This isn't a grade?
No, I posted the answers. You'll know if you did it or not when you take your quiz. Yeah.
Can you stop being so rude? No.
And then came what we just talked about, the similar polygons. So all of these are practice for similarity and for scale factor, and then solving for x like we just did on the classkick. You definitely need to review for this stuff, okay? This is, again, 7.1, 7.2. All the answers are posted. I'll actually work them out and post them with them worked out. But you need to make sure you're ready to go tomorrow when you come in. We have an assembly schedule tomorrow, so you're on a shortened schedule, which is fine. It's a quiz with 10 questions. Huh? It's tomorrow. Yeah. Don't scare me. So you'll see tomorrow's a different schedule. Yeah. Okay, so the directions said the polygons are similar. Find the value of each variable. So they're already similar. What you have to do is match up the side lengths. So this big side goes with this side here, so it would be 8 over x, would equal this big side with this little side, which would be 6 to y. And then this big side to that little side, which would be 10 to 5. And then you want to do them one variable at a time. So I can say that 10 to 5 equals 8 to x. This would be 2 to 1. And then cross multiply 2x would equal 8. Divide by 2, and x is 4. And then do the same thing but with y this time. 6 over y equals 10 over 5, which we just said was 2 to 1. I get 6 equals 2 times y. Divide by 2, and y is 3. So there are always, if it's a triangle, there's always 3 ratios. One of them is going to be both numbers. And that's what you want to set equal to both of the other variables. Alyssa.
How is it 8 over x?
Because this side is proportional to this side.
Okay.
Then go to 19. So this time, this long side here matches this side here. 12 to x would equal 9, this longer slanted side, to 6. Would equal z to 3.5. Would equal y to 6. And then I have to do one variable at a time with the one that has numbers in both the top and the bottom, which is 9, 6, or 3 over 2. So I can say 12 over x equals 3 over 2. I can say 3 over 2 equals z over 3.5. And I can say 3 over 2 equals y over 6. So one of them is going to have a number in the top and the bottom, and that's what you're going to set equal to all the other ratios. So cross multiply and divide here. 24 equals 3x. Divide by 3. X is 8. Cross multiply here. 3 times 3.5 equals 2 times z. 3.5 times 3. There's one digit. So 10.5 equals 2z. And then divide by 2. And 10.5 divided by 2. 5.2. 5. Or 5 1/4. Same thing. And then the last one, 3 times 6 would equal 2 times y. 18 equals 2 times y. Divide by 2, and y is 9.
Are you gonna have like one of the problems on there?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe not 3 parts, but there's definitely going to be ones where you have to match up a ratio and then solve them. You're definitely going to see set up the ratio, simplify it. You're definitely going to see cross multiplying. You're definitely going to see something where it's got like the extended ratio in the equation. And then the proportions. When you flip one, you got to flip the other. When you go left, right, you got to go left, right. And then when you add the denominator, like all that stuff from 7-1. And then the setting up the ratio of the sides, the angles, the similarity statement, and then this stuff from 7-2. Everything that's on that worksheet. So you want to make sure you work through both of them. Okay, there's not a lot on there. You need to practice them. The only thing that there's a lot of is the cross multiplying. You maybe don't need to work through every single one of those.